Hey everyone, welcome to another one of our videos. Today I'm going to be doing the installation of this B&M shifter on my 2011 F-150 Raptor. The reason I'm doing this is because my shifter has some chrome that started peeling. You can absolutely buy an OEM Ford replacement, but I figured why not try out this upgraded version since it's all aluminum. It's a nice piece, and whenever I purchased this was on sale. Process should be the same for any of the console shifted 12th gen F-150s and of course the 1st gen Raptors. This is only going to apply to those, the column shifted ones. There's not a B&M shifter for, or at least it's not this one. The process would be different. This is part number 81146, and we're going to go ahead and head on over to the truck and show you how we're going to start disassembling in order to get this guy installed. Alright, so inside the box you're going to get some instructions as well as the shifter and a tow haul button that's separate from the shifter, since this is not a part of the actual gear shifter itself and needs to be located elsewhere once you install this. But this is what you get in the package. So we're going to go ahead, head over to the truck and start with the first step of the instructions, which is starting to take apart some of the console. Alright, so step one in this is getting the cup holder off. You can see I have it popped free here, and I would have shown this on camera, but it was so easy that it popped right off. Basically all I did is reached underneath here, underneath the black side plastic, pulled up, and was able to get this side free. And then the other side I was able to just reach my fingers around in kind of the same way and pull it up. I was ready and prepared with some trim removal tools. Didn't need them. This thing just lifts right up, and then you can see right back in there where we kind of have to lift it up a little bit at an angle and kind of finagle it out from there. One thing I can tell we're gonna have to do is move the shifter backwards. I'm gonna need to put the key in the ignition and pull the shifter backwards in order to get this back far enough to start disconnecting things underneath here. Alright, so you can see we have the cup holder console area off now, and what we need to do next is start getting the shifter removed. So first step in doing so is getting the side panels off of the shifter. We're going to just use plastic pry tools and pop them loose. I believe I'm going to be able to start from the front and get them off that way, but that remains to be seen. So we'll get those off and roll on to the next step. Alright, so now that we have both side panels popped loose, and as I'm sure you saw, all I used was one of these tools, popped them loose, popped them loose. This side on mine was broken for the top two tabs already. The other side came off intact, no problem. So somebody's been in here, and actually there's some more evidence of that down below where there are some still loose bolts. You can see the, hopefully see the washer rotate there. And this guy back here is loose as well. And you can kind of see the whole shifter rock. So something was done on this truck at some point with regard to the shifter. Who knows what it is, but we'll make sure that whenever we put everything back together that we get everything right. So next step per the instructions is to remove the two T20 screws on the sides of the shifter. I'm just gonna pop them loose like this. Super easy. And we're gonna need those, I believe, for later. So we're gonna set those down aside. And I will note that once we have those loose, or out I should say, the shifter is actually able to move up and down. Those are what will lock the shifter into its position, at least in the vertical. And then the next step is to pull out the 4 bolts that hold the shifter down to the actual console. So 2 of those are the ones that I showed you, right there and right there. And then there is another one right down in there that the camera's having a hard time focusing on. And then one more right there that, again, the camera doesn't want to focus on. There we go. And so we're going to pull those out, and that will give us the access that we need by lifting up the shifter to get to the wiring underneath and disconnect the connectors that we need to disconnect in order to pull this all the way off. So we'll go ahead and do that and move on to the next step from there. Alrighty, so we have the shifter lifted out here after removing all 4 bolts, and it just lifts out, and you kind of gotta angle it out to get it to this point. And you can see I have it down in first gear as well, just so I have access to be able to do that without hitting the stereo. At this point, we're ready to start disconnecting some wires, and so our shifter wires are these 3 right here that go into that connector right there. You're just gonna have to push the tab and pull those to disconnect. And then the tow haul button is the other connection that we need to remove, and you can see those are green wires which come in here and go into that connector right in there. And so I'm not going to be able to get a camera obviously in there to show you the disconnection process, but that's what we're looking for right there. And I'm going to try to make sure that the wire routing stays as similar to this as possible whenever I put the new wires in. Obviously, we're only going to have these ones come up through this stem here at that point, and the tow haul button is going to be relocated elsewhere, but we're going to try to make this as similar as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and get these disconnected, and then once that happens, you're going to want to pull the shifter off, up and off, and help work those wires all the way up and through so you can get them up and off. And then at that point, we're ready to move on over back to the bench and start working on the new shifter and getting it prepped for installation. All right, so really quickly before we pull this guy fully out, I just want to show this connector and how I was able to get it. So the standard connect, or the normal connector for the up and down shifting buttons, super easy, just got a little tab to release. The tow haul connector, not quite so easy. It's got this funky little zigzagged retainer, so it's got a key that slots into here and the tab that slots into here. There's no push down or anything to be able to remove this. So what I was able to do is stick a small screwdriver in here on the side over here, which I'll point to with the screwdriver. So I was able to stick a small screwdriver in here and then lever up on the corner here of the kind of retaining tab Z-shaped guy here, and while I twisted the screwdriver a little bit and lifted the tab, I was able to get that thing to start moving and get it popped out. So weird one to disconnect, but you can see disconnected now. So now I'm obviously going to need 2 hands, but you can see we've got our wires starting to come free, and we're going to be able to just pull them up and out at this point. Alrighty, so continuing to follow the instructions, we're going to go ahead and pull off the right hand side plate. This is a 5/64 Allen key. We remove these 2 screws here, and that should yield us some access to, looks like, one of our 2 securing screws right here. That's going to take, it looks like, 1 size up, which is going to be 3/32. Yep. So that's one of our 2 screws. It looks like those are actually, they're not captured. Okay. So that's one of our 2 screws that's going to secure everything in place. Now the left-hand side, the instructions say to just take loose. I'm assuming what that means is to loosen and rotate possibly. Or maybe that means remove the screws fully and just kind of flop it open a little bit, which I think is indeed what it means. Okay, so, and we have access to the other screw right there, which I'll go ahead and tip out just so we don't accidentally drop that where it doesn't belong in the truck. With this pulled out, what I'm going to do now is go ahead and move on over to the truck, get these wires fed down the down into the shifter, and get the shifter stem inserted into the larger hole here while making sure the wires are running through the smaller one. And once we have everything down and the screw holes aligned that are on the actual shifter stem, we'll be able to put in the 2 short screws and get this secured into place. Alrighty, so we're back here in the truck and we have some progress made now with the shifter getting installed. So you can see over here that when we pull the trigger, we successfully are actuating the shifter as would be expected. And we have the screw in here, and we have the screw on the other side in right there. Now I want to make a correction of what I said earlier. The Allen key that you're going to use is going to be 2.5 millimeter, at least for these screws. These ones are metric. So The standard Allen key that I was using felt a little bit loose once I actually started putting a little bit of torque on the screws, and double checked, and it's indeed 2.5 millimeter, which makes sense for a modern Ford. So no worries there. Just make sure you use the right Allen key. The other ones may also be metric too, that hold on the side plates, but we'll get to that whenever we actually go and do the installation, final installation and torquing of those. At this point though, shifter's still very much loose. Wires are just fed through and are loose right here. But the shifter itself is installed and ready to rock and roll. So what we need to do is start buttoning things back up. What I'm going to start with is getting the side plate here screwed on the side, just so it's not hanging and flopping and potentially getting scratched. And then we're going to move on to routing some wires here and connecting them back here in the back side and getting all of this wrapped up and figuring out the tow haul button as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy taken care of and move on from there. Alrighty, we have the shifter in place, side plate tightened down, wires routed for the shifter itself and or should I say the shift up and shift down buttons. The wiring's routed for those. What I ended up doing was routing it basically inboard of the bulbs here and along basically up here, and then it drops down and connects to the connector. There's a lot of excess wiring on the B&M shifter as compared to the standard one, probably to make room for lifting the thing off and on and whatnot. And so with that, I ended up just twisting the wiring up, tucking it in here, and making sure, shifting all the way through the gears, that I don't have any interference or pinching of wires within here. It's really tough to kind of see and do. But what you can do is stick a flashlight in here and watch, and you can see the wires actually move back and forth as the original ones did as well. And you're able to, see kind of what shape you're in and whatnot. So this portion is done, and we're darn near ready to secure this down back in place and reassemble everything. But we can't forget about the tow haul button, which plugs in right here. And I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that one. So I'm going to poke around the truck, figure out where I want to locate that, and go through the process of how that's going to go down, and then I'll show you that process or what I ended up doing within that in order to get all of this wrapped up and done. Oh, and one last thing, securing the side plate back on, standard size screws. So the Allen key size that I mentioned earlier is indeed the correct size to put the side plate on. So they've got a mix of standard and metric hardware in here. Nothing out of the ordinary for a modern American vehicle. So gonna go ahead and figure out the tow haul button, and we'll come back with a solution. Alrighty, we have somewhat of a tow haul button solution going. I'm going to have to fabricate a little bit, but I'm gonna be able to button up the whole center console area here right now. I'm done with that after I, of course, test the tow haul button and the functionality here and make sure everything works properly. Shifter's back together fully. All the screws are back together. I do recommend using some super low strength Loctite like 222 on even the small screws, just a tiny dab on there just to make sure nothing rattles loose, which I did, and of course did the same on the other screws on the inside as well. This is fully put back together. We already went over this portion. I just got to bolt it back into place now. I've cleaned all of this up and out, and then the tow haul button is the last little bit. So the B&M instructions, they recommend drilling a hole in the cup holder or something along those lines and putting the tow haul button in there. Not something I wanted to do. So I have the tow haul button wiring coming out and around here from what used to be underneath the shifter, and it's running down here. We should be able to see right there. And then right now, just out the side here, I have the side panel pulled down as well. What I'm gonna do is tuck that back behind the side panel, wrap it around to right where the OBD2 port is, and I'm going to install a little bracket there. The OBD2 port has a couple extra holes that, I don't know, are utilized to mount it on a different chassis or something along those lines. But I'm going to utilize those holes, pick up on those points, and make a small little bracket to mount the tow haul button. And so whenever I want to use tow haul mode, I can just reach down under the dash right where the OBD2 port is and press the button, easy peasy. And it's out of sight, out of mind otherwise. So that said, I'm going to start getting things buttoned back up on the console side of things. And then I will go ahead and get a bracket made, and we'll come back and show you what the final result looks like. All right, so here we have the finished product. I've got the shifter installed, everything buttoned back up here. After some thorough cleaning, console very much disinfected and clean. And moving down here, right by the OBD2 port, is where I decided to place the tow haul button. So you can see I made a little, I actually 3D printed this bracket here. Made a little 3D printed bracket with the proper cutout for the hole and everything, and mating up to the bolt pattern used for the OBD2 port plug bracket, and went ahead and installed the tow haul button right here. I ended up having to extend the wiring probably in the neighborhood of 18 inches or so for it to make it basically from up here down and around the footwell panel and up underneath the kick panel down here, the understeering wheel panel I should say, in order to make it all the way to here. So a little bit of customization and custom installation here, but this keeps the tow haul button super easily accessible, but also completely out of sight, out of mind, and not modifying a bunch of stock pieces. With that said, we're done with the installation. I'm, at least so far, super happy with the finished product. Gonna go take this thing for a drive and, you know, see how this thing works and whatnot, but definitely super happy with the end result. And this one certainly isn't gonna have any peeling chrome over time like the other one did. So with that, I wanna thank you all for watching. Let me know down in the comment section below if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.